Yes, the Rastafari community start with building a tabernacle that they could worship Rastafari in. Rastafari worship Haile Selassie as Christ the Messiah and pray that they could return to Ethiopia by way of repatriation and reparation. This was their divine concept and their divine expectation to go back to Africa. So when they chant Nyabingi into a place called a tokel, which is a tabernacle, which they're gathering into and chant and sing songs pertaining to liberation. The drums that they use would be the repeat of the funde and the bass. One, they would say represent thunder, which is the bass, the other earthquake, which is the funde, and the repeat would represent lightning. And they would then tell you again that the might and power of the Trinity, which is Haile Selassie interpreted, would be eat, air, and water. And they would set their principle. Their creed would be, let the hunger be fed, the naked clothed, sick be nourished, infant kept, and the aged be protected. They pray for these attributes and hope that they came true. While Babylon was still stalking them, anywhere to live, no food to eat, no woman to have children with, and nowhere to stay. They resort to the garbage heap that we call Bakawal. Bakawal was still part of Spanish Town, but way in the back part of it, where all the garbages were dumped. So they find a home there and a hiding place from the atrocities of Babylon, who don't want to see the lax man. He could not come out and work. He could not walk the road and sell home like Prince Emmanuel Bubbles there, who adorned himself into gowns and head wrap. This Rastaman is an example of how the Rasta would dress in those days, not having any opportunity to buy clothes, buy food, have anywhere to live. The only place for them were to live is in the dump. And they choose the dump because they could hide from Babylon, because in the dump was a whole heap of prickle and maca and dangerous elements of things that can hurt you. But they find their way in the middle of it and build themselves a place called Baktu. And they would wait until dump garbage from the city come to dump there. They would search the garbage and take out things like these bags, by which they use as a traveling bag, and they use it as a shirt and use it as somewhat to wrap around their waist as pants or clothing to cover their nakedness. These clothing that they have is not because they want to wear this, but this is what was available to them only, not getting any assistance from society. They had to dress this way. The Rastafari Exhibition really started with the narrative that got collected by people like Sister Corleone from Canada. She were in Bakawal, sitting amongst Mortimer Planner. In 1959, come up to the 70s. She were there. She could not venture into the deeper hoods of Bakawal because those Rasta Nyabingi said dead to black and white oppression, so no white people couldn't go there. So Planner, who was highly educated and they were still moving from Bakawal to Coronation Market to Salt Lane. Salt Lane was a place where they called Gracia, and there most Rasta would sit down who were not abused by Babylon to that extreme because of their intelligence. They would sit out in the front there. Grass are the place where people buy coal and thing, and then anyone who want to know about Rastafari to a depth would go there to see Planner and others like Mission, Napier, Sam Brown, and all these other Rastas would gather there. Because they had the argument to show Babylon their rights. Others only have the argument to agitate to go home. So this was a different set who actually were out there. You have the educated set and the uneducated set. It's out of the uneducated set you get things like the heightened reasoning, Eyes is eye, eye full eye, eyster full eye, and what the whole alphabet of the I and I principle came out of Bakawal, because these brethren did not get any education, and they were deprived of everything of that society have to bring them into modern time. So Planner was there, and Sister Kalyani come from Canada as a journalist, sit there with him and get as much that she can learn about Rastafari. We then have Jake Somia, who came in 1979. He was more privileged because the races that Kalyani could not go amongst, Jake Somia happened to get that privilege. It wasn't easy for him because they also dubbed him as a white man, come to rob Rasta of their culture and all of that. But he stood through it. He made a few friends amongst the Rastafari community. At this time, the Rastafari community have moved now from Bakawal to Bull Bay, of which 1975, 1967, Edward George Seago mowed down all the representation of Rasta dwelling, clean up Bakawal Dongle, and all the Rastas them had to move from there. Most of them move according to the prophecy of Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey had said, if you're moving from the city, don't go more than 9 miles. So they gathered their things and they went to 9 Mile Bull Bay. In 9 Mile Bull Bay, the Bobo them take the hill and the Nyabingi take the beach. So you have Nyabingi on the beach and Bobo on the hill. Now, they stood there. Most of them became fishermen and live on the beach, and they started to get their ladies involved. So they started have Rasta women, Rasta children. After that exodus from Bakawal, most of these brethren would go even further into St. Thomas, Portland, St. Mary, Clarendon, where they visit other Rastas as well. And that development stood there and get itself established throughout Jamaica and the world as resettlement of the Rastafari community coming from Bakawal.